Welcome back, everyone. Today's episode is going to be a live lesson with my great friend Filippo from Italy. Filippo is a world-class pickleball player. Now, being from Italy, he's very well aware of the game of paddle, unlike many folks here in the US. So we're gonna do a lesson. Now, while he is from Italy, he doesn't have much of a paddle background. Some tennis and more so with pickleball. So something I'd like to just ask you, my friend, is what would you say is the biggest difference between paddle here in the US versus back home in Italy?
So I think the main difference is definitely that in America, people are still relying on their tennis background.
Yeah.
So some of their shots are still, still using the tennis technique.
Yep.
And I think that in Italy, definitely people start using more bajadas. They're using more of a Padel technique for their shots.
Yep.
So I would say their situational awareness is different. So they're definitely switched to a sport, while in US, people are still transitioning. So I think that's the main difference. And I think we're gonna, go through some points and highlight what can be done better.
I love it. Yeah, so that's great. Today's focus is gonna really be glass, defense. We're gonna touch on the serve and the volleys. So let's dive in.
Let's do it.
Let's go. All right, man, good work. So we hit some balls off the glass, we hit some volleys, we hit some serves. How did those feel, and what do you feel like you need work on?
So I feel kind of sluggish. Definitely my footwork seems slow, and I'm not predicting where the shot is gonna land, especially off the glass.
Yeah.
I think that what I would like to understand better, as much as I have a tennis background, what would be the perfect shot in the right situation.
Yep.
So that's one of the things I would like to work on. As much as I can hit them, they're not effective shots.
Yep.
They're just emergency shots as a way to just hit the ball on the other side of the court.
Yep, absolutely. Now we'll touch on the glass. A couple things I want to really focus on the volley and the serve as well. So let's get into it.
Thank you.
Okay, my friend. So a couple things to focus on when the ball's off the glass. And we're gonna try to make this as simple as possible so you have clarity every time you step onto the court. First things first, a simple rule of thumb is if the ball bounces in front of the line, more often than not, you could take that off the bounce. If the ball is gonna be behind the line, then we'll let it bounce off the glass. Now, there are some nuances that will make it different at times, because if the ball's coming in super hot really fast, but it bounces like right here, sometimes it's better to let it go off the wall because it'll give you time versus trying to hit a awkward half volley. So that would be one example. But the main thing I want you to think about is making sure this is gonna be like your best friend on the court. Coming from tennis, a lot of players like myself, we always wanted to avoid this because we're so used to the game being so fast. And in Padel, it's quite opposite. We want to slow the game down. We want to build the point from the back of the court to earn the right to move forward, which is the prime real estate, which is where we want to be. So when the ball bounces off the glass, what do you think it does?
The ball goes high, and you can definitely decreases the speed of the shot, giving you a chance to think more about your shot and giving you more control.
Precisely. So the ball's going to slow down, and then you'll have more options in terms of what you want to do and time, as you said. So that's first thing, and knowing what shot to hit, given the line as kind of like the mark on terms of the decision that we're gonna make. Okay, so next, I want you to focus on the footwork. So if we're kind of, in our ready position here, midway between the baseline and the back glass, what is our footwork gonna be as we let the ball bounce off the glass? I wanna see what that's gonna look like.
Probably move on the side
Yep.
and try to calculate more or less where the ball is going to bounce on the wall, so we
Correct.
know which shot to use.
100%. So that is good. We want to, if it's going to be our backhand, lead with our back foot. And if it's our forehand, we're going to go this way. A lot of players, they'll turn all the way this way though. So see, their chest is facing the glass, or sometimes they'll cross over, and now where am I facing? Facing you. So now I'm gonna hit an awkward shot, off balance or behind me, and that's gonna give an easy sitter to my opponent. So we always wanna make sure we're always staying forward. How do we do that? Take a step back and we're still looking forward. See that? Very nice, very nice. And then the next thing to focus on is after the ball hits the glass, so many players will wanna hit this ball too soon. Wait a split second longer and contact out in front. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So like,
absolutely.
It's here, wait, out in front versus, oh, it's off the wall, trying to go like that. All right?
Understood. Great.
Perfect. All right, my friend, so now for the serve. So those few serves that you hit, I'm sure you're aware, but I would really want to make sure. When you were bouncing, the ball was in front of the line. And a lot of players entering the game, they're not too aware. They're like, oh, it could bounce as long as I hit it below the waist. Yes, we have to hit it at the waist or below, but our feet and the ball must bounce behind the line. It can't hit the line or cross the line, prior. So we want to make sure that we bounce behind the line. We want to make sure that we give it a nice little push, but not too much, because too much, what will happen?
It would be a high ball and you would hit it like above the waist.
Exactly. So now that we got those basics down, I want to talk about the swing path. Okay, so swing path is going to be from high to low. And so you basically have that down. We're going to dial that in a little bit. I really want to focus on your contact point, about at waist level, slightly lower, and making sure that it's a little bit flatter. Before it was a little bit open, which is when it's open, the ball goes up. So if we close it a bit, that will really help the ball stay low and glide. So high to low, close the racket face, and then let it roll. So let's give that a go and let's see what that looks like. Yep, that's good right there. Okay, I like it. But see how we had a little bit almost like of a tennis motion? I want you to try to go from here and make sure we're in a continental grip. You're in a continental grip, good.
Yep.
Start here and then come straight down. And after contact, continue to push through like you have to hit through 2 to 3 more balls, okay? Really push through. Get that extension. Bounce the ball a little behind the line. There we go. Better, I like it. We're getting there. Good. We're getting there. Now what I really want to focus on is something first, very important to touch on, is just having like in pickleball, you know how you probably have a pre-serve routine? Mm-hmm. Really making sure that, and especially in tennis, like bounce the ball once or bounce the ball 2 times, whatever. It's different for everyone, but really make sure you develop whatever that looks like for you. And then a deep inhale and then exhale to really clear the mind, and then visualize the target. And so now let's talk about targets. What are the targets that you have in mind as possibilities for the serve?
So definitely you want it to bounce in the corner before the glass because it's going to be harder to return.
That's a good
and
serve.
You want to, in my situation, I want to know where opponent is. So if the opponent is leaning towards the right, towards the corner, try to hit the tee.
Yep.
Because it's going to be harder and you can expect a more defensive answer to the serve. So I would say that my way of doing is like definitely know where the opponent is sitting and their patterns, and try to like use that for a better serve.
I think that's excellent. Yeah, really making sure you hit the nail on the head. That wide serve, hitting off the glass, especially at the beginner, intermediate level, is so difficult, as we know. So that's going to be probably, you know, hit at least half the time, a little more than half the time. The body serve is underused. So really making sure that we're mixing it up with the body. And then yes, the tee as well, because a lot of people think, okay, they're always going to go there. But for most right-handed players, the tee is the backhand side. Backhand side is typically weaker. So really making sure we're mixing that up, visualizing on the pre-serve routine. Now on these, I want you to flow to the net, because remember, we want to get to the net right after the serve. So focus on depth more so than power, because if we overhit it, we won't have time to get forward. So let's put it all together. I like it. Bounce the ball behind, good. Okay, it's good. I like where we're getting, we're making progress. Now I want you to think about your body weight moving forward as you hit. Because we're hitting, we're watching, and then we're going against the better players, it's still gonna be a little late. So watch here, I'm gonna hit and have my body weight moving forward simultaneously. See that?
Mm-hmm.
Give that a go. Better. So, I like what I see. Some things I think we could improve upon. First things first, we want to make sure we're in a continental grip, and that you are. Just shake its hand. Perfect, we're in the right grip. The first thing that I noticed that we could really improve immediately and have an instant impact on the volley is making sure that we're getting rotation with each volley. I think this is where the pickleball is coming in. We're staying square. Instead, we really want to make sure we're being very intentional with the split step. So as our opponent is hitting the ball, split step and then rotate. Either direction. That's number one. Getting lower, getting a lower athletic base is gonna be important. Being on the balls of our feet is gonna be another super important thing to focus on. And we don't need to focus on quite yet how the super advanced level, the pros, they're taking bigger swings, hitting offensive cuts at the ball where the ball is bouncing so low and right before the glass. This, almost think about like your tennis volleys. That's gonna be sufficient, more than enough at the advanced level to stay offensive. So we really wanna make sure we're getting the rotation, short, compact swings, and then keeping it nice and low, because we know a volley that sits up, it's a gift. So let's focus on hitting a few of those where you're just gonna be split stepping and rotating, okay?
Let's go.
Nice. Better. I like it. I like it.
Much better.
Much better. You're getting the good rotation. Mm-hmm. Another thing to focus on that could be helpful is taking the racket back at the height of the ball. And what I mean by that is if the ball is higher, racket back higher. If the ball's coming at our feet, getting the racket low. So players will take it back the same way no matter what. And then if it's high, adjust. And then if it's low, adjust at the last minute. Off balance, and it will be a floating volley. If the ball's low, we're gonna take it back low. If the ball's high, we're gonna take it back high. So try to take that, the ball's low. Let me see that take back again. Okay, so see how this, do that again. Take that pick, see how the ball's low? Our racket's here. So what I wanna do, we're gonna take it straight there, here, and then we're just gonna
Push it.
push from there. Exactly, like that, okay? Notice that difference? So I'm gonna hit a couple low, and I want you to try that.
Yep.
Just keep it right behind the ball. Not here, here. Yes. Yes. Excellent. Excellent. That was great, my friend.
Thank you.
Awesome, awesome work. So what would you say was the biggest takeaway?
So even if you come from tennis or pickleball, you have racket sports experience, some small adjustments make a massive difference in Padel. Because some people know how to hit the ball or which shot to do, but there's some things that you need to know in order to level up your game.
Yep.
Because it's gonna give you the confidence to actually step it up,
Yep.
to actually do the right shot.
Yep.
The things you taught me today, even if I knew exactly the shots to do, I didn't fully understand the minor details I needed to improve my game.
I love it. I love it. And that's exactly right. Sometimes those minor differences make all the difference in the world. And so, like, you know, we touched on glass defense, we touched on volleys, we touched on the serve. And so each, you know, there were one or two nuggets hopefully that you took away. It sounds like you did. And I had a blast. I hope you did too. We'll have to definitely run this again. To those who tuned in, thank you. Drop your city below. Let us know what you would like to see next time. And if you like this format, is this a format that you guys took away something? And if you want to see it again, also smash the link in the bio for the community, where the 30-day beginner mastery course will be coming available in the next couple weeks. And until next time, keep protecting your inner peace like your life depends upon it, because it does. We'll catch you next time.